Hello. Hello, 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 hello. How are we doing? Is anybody there? Am I there? Is this working? Am I going to get any better at this? Adam Sutherland here. Welcome to Errogie Music Live. And we are going to be looking at a beautiful tune from the Isle of Skye this week. Absolutely stunning melody. And once I'm absolutely certain that this is all working, we are going to get straight into it. And so in the meantime, I will just continue talking. It's a tune which has almost one of the best titles of any tune I've heard. And I think I'm going to do another live stream / video on titles. Oh, Michael Bishop's there. Hello. Slightly quiet for you. Thank you very much, Gavin. I'm going to turn up the volume a little bit here. Let's see what that does. For some reason, I'm not seeing it on my iPad, but it looks like maybe I don't need to. Maybe I don't need to. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Forget the iPad. I'm going to just wing it. Okay. Hey, everyone. Yeah. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Adam Sutherland. I'm a fiddle player, tune writer from Loch Ness area in Scotland, and I'm just absolutely fascinated by composing melodies. It's something that I've just been insanely addicted to for my entire adult life, and I just want to share my love of that here and see if maybe anyone else fancies just coming on with me on my own tune writing journey. So it's a thing that you do very much alone usually, so it's nice just to think maybe that there's someone else out there also writing tunes and who wants to talk about it. There we go. So this video, this live stream, is about this absolutely gorgeous tune. It really is just beautiful. It's got the greatest name. It's called Dark Lowers the Night, and I think I'm going to just play you the tune. Okay, so I will just share with you the music so that you can follow along if you want. Dark Lowers the Night by Pipe Major John Mackay. There we go. Dark lowers the night. And hey, Andrea, nice to see you here. One of your favorite tunes. I don't even know where to begin. It's just insanely beautiful. And I actually would really love to hear what you guys love about this tune, or dislike. Just what you hear about it, rather than me just talk at you. I'll get going though with what I love about it. I could go into all the kind of technical, musical, interval-y stuff, but actually for me the thing that jumps out most is actually just the feel. It transcends melodic writing in a way. It transcends the sound of someone trying to write a tune. This sounds like a tune that came to someone, and there's obviously nothing wrong with writing a tune because you sat there and tried to. That's obviously like a big part of what this channel is all about, and you can write great tunes that way, but sometimes tunes do come to you, and obviously I don't know for sure, but I feel like this is a tune that arrived into Pipe Major John Mackay's consciousness. It's just got this feel. Excuse me, just shaking off a cold here. It's melancholy, it's wistful, it's melodic. It immediately conjures up an emotion and a feel, and you don't need to know why you like a tune to know. You don't need to know how a tune does that to know why you like it. It's just gorgeous. There's hardly anything to it. I quite often teach this tune because there's only a few different small building blocks. The first phrase, and this lovely answer phrase, so it's question, answer, and then same question again. And the slightest change to the second answer. That's the first part of the tune, and it's more than half the tune because this B part uses a lot of that. So a lot of what I teach is about question, answer, question, different answer. Those who are regulars here will be aware of that. This is almost the best example I can think of having a question phrase, an answer phrase, same question, and then changing the second answer phrase to make it, changing it only by a tiny amount to make it basically the same answer phrase as the first phrase, but just changed a little bit. So what's the difference? I'll just pop the dots on the screen again just in case it helps you see this, but you have, the first phrase, the question, it immediately sets off on this journey. That B, the very start of bar 1, is set up by the two notes that come into it. These are the last two notes of the entire tune, or you could view it as the last two notes of the first part, but it's, without those first two anacrusis or introductory notes, it's just, but and no sooner has it settled on this firm foundation of B, we're in the key B minor, than it just immediately glides up like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of bird. Wow, you can tell I'm a real poet. It flies up like some kind of bird. Yeah, that's why I don't write songs, people. This whole first part is a starting off on the firm foundations of the die before rising up beautifully to this high point, the highest note being a high 8. And then from there it just settles back down, but not to B. And this is what's interesting. The first answer, it settles down onto C sharp. C sharp is not important. What's important is that it settles down to the second note in the scale. We're in B minor, so B is 1. If you play a scale of B minor and go up 8 notes, the second note you get to after B is C sharp. So by landing on that C sharp, although it's right next to B, it's a million miles from B in terms of the feel. That's the weird thing about notes that are next to each other. They're close to each other in terms of pitch, but they're very far away from each other in terms of feel. So landing on that C sharp, it leaves us hanging. It's glorious. And just those phrases are just so wonderful. It's almost like you can imagine someone dancing to that. So another thing I talk about a lot, and I just say the same things all the time, is the incredible power of last notes of phrases to either keep the energy going or to kind of kill it stone dead. This is a wonderful example of that. By landing on that C sharp, we're left hanging. It's not finished, so you want more, and the tune gives you more. What does it do? It gives you that same solid first phrase again, that B, just the foundation. When you're in any key, playing the root note, which is like the note, the name of the key. If you're in B minor, B is the root note. It's like the foundation of the building. Whenever you play that, it's very settling. It's just reminding you where you're at. And by having this C sharp at the end of that first answer phrase, and then coming back to the same question phrase again, da-da-dam, it just answers the kind of question. Leaving you hanging. Bang. And then what does it do this time? So I'm going to go through the difference between the two answer phrases here. The first answer phrase finishes on the second degree of the scale, leaving you hanging. And then the second answer phrase, if you look at the second line of the music, and the last two notes of bar 6, finishes on the B again. So the first answer phrase, second answer phrase, and that's just it. So there's really only 3 different bits. There's a question, an answer, and a second answer. And the 2 answers are very similar. But as I said before, they're also wildly different because of the last note they finish on. And what I've said a lot of times about finishing your phrase on a root note can kill the energy of a tune and not leave you want to go hanging forward. But there's always like exceptions. And in a way, the tune is kind of finished there. By finishing up the whole of that first part on a B, it does kind of end it all. And I wouldn't have blamed the composer if he was stuck for a B part, but I suspect he wasn't. How does he get rid of the finality of finishing this first part on a B? Well, he just takes us up to some new fertile musical ground. So that's going into the second part. I'm going to play the last 2 notes of the second line, Those are the second time ending. So we've done the first part twice, and we're going to go from the high A. This is glorious for so many reasons. Let me know if you can think of any I've missed. It introduces something. It's just a new horizon. I can go into like why it's different rhythmically, but emotionally and in terms of the storytelling of the tune, it feels like you've just climbed over a wall and you've seen a whole different vista in front of you. It's so different to the first part, isn't it? Because the first part has got this kind of hop, skip and a jump rhythm. Dum dee da ba dum dum da. Whereas this is, it doesn't go. It wouldn't have been bad if it had done that, but it doesn't. And this tune wouldn't work if the rest of the first part did that rhythm da 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 da, because on its own, or if it was overused, it's quite a boring rhythm. Dee da 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 da. But you're ready for it here because the first part has not been doing that. It's been down in the B's. Ding 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 ding. You do have a wee high A in the first part, but it's very brief. Just have a look at that. The first part, the second bar, you do go up to high A, but they're very, very short. They're just serving you the purpose of gliding back down again. Whereas in this second part, we're using those F sharps and G's and A's, but this time we're savouring them, really chewing on them, reveling in their glory. Wow, that's just beautiful and powerful. It's not trying to be clever, it's not full of insecurity or ego, it's just glorious. And I'm just going to go down a little bit of a tangent here just because it's popped into my head there, but people who were writing tunes back in the day before any social media or before any television or maybe before anyone else would, I don't know exactly what it was like, but I feel like when you're writing a tune back then, you're not like wondering how many likes it's going to get. You're not wondering how well it's going to do out in the world. Maybe he was. Maybe people did write that way. I could be wrong. But this tune doesn't, to me, sound like it's been written with crowd pleasing in mind. It doesn't sound like it's been written with the view to just get as famous a tune as possible, or to be as famous as possible, or to see how big a profile you can get. It smacks of, to me, of no ego. It smacks of someone who is in love with crafting sound and just feeling where the music wants to go. Again, I don't know, this is just conjecture. Maybe he was desperately worried about what everyone else would think about it, but it's just my personal opinion. I don't think he write tunes like this, with this much integrity, with this much lack of ego, unless you are in that state. Again, which is why I think maybe this is a tune that arrived, that just came in, so the tune did all the heavy lifting. The ego was just not there, I don't think. Could be wrong. So just going back to the B part again, the soaring, on the bagpipes you couldn't really crescendo on long notes, but on the fiddle you can. What does it do then? It settles back down in exactly the same way as we did in the first part. It uses the first answer Then what does it not do? It doesn't go and do the same answer again. It doesn't, sorry, it doesn't do the same question again. It doesn't go again. It just goes back to the recurring theme of the end of the first part. So really the second part of this tune has only got one new bit of information, and it's this soaring new reality. And that's it. There's not even any second time endings. So let me know if you like or dislike this tune, or just, I would love to hear some thoughts, even if you're not watching this in the live stream setting. Yeah, pipe major with no ego, says Michael Bishop, question mark. Oh, that's good. Yeah, maybe I'm not going to sit here and cast aspersions on the world of piping. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the greatest pipe tunes, well, just a lot of the greatest tunes are written without this. They've bypassed that bit of us that we all have. Actually, I was looking at a great photo of the late Gordon Duncan on Facebook today. It came up as part of the Gordon Duncan Memorial Trust, and if you're watching this and you haven't yet encountered the music of Gordon Duncan, well, you just have to. You probably have actually heard his music. You might not know who he was, but he was the bin man in Pitlochry, and he had absolutely no qualms about doing that. I don't think from what I gather, I don't think he saw that as somehow beneath him or anything. And there's this photo on Facebook from Tartan Week, which is going on right now, 6th of April, in New York City, and there's a photo of him helping one of the New York bin men with a big smile, both of them, and that really made me think. I just thought, how many musicians who are professional musicians today with successful Instagram posts and glitzy photos, how many of us would be happy just to help a bin man with their bin bags out in New York City whilst writing so many of our most famous tunes? So yeah, I don't think Gordon was necessarily the pipe major of Vale of Atholl. I think his brother Ian was, but he was certainly a composer, you've got to say, with a certain humility and humbleness. And yeah, maybe those are things that those are things that we should be learning to help us with our writing. I do think sometimes that your personality does come through in your music, whether you want it to or not, which is why sometimes I feel like if you want to write music that's got integrity, some of the best advice I could give you is to be a person with integrity. Yeah, anyway, that's a little bit of a sidebar there, but this is it. Anyway, this is Dark Lowers the Night. I think this is going to be a slightly shorter stream this week. I also want to just say before I forget, next 2 weeks, which will be whatever the heck those dates are. Let me just see. Sunday, a week from today, is of course the 13th of April and the 20th of April. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be away with a fiddle band with some of my absolute heroes. In fact, everyone in this band is a musical hero of mine. All of them. The fiddle players, the percussion, guitar and piano player. They're all heroes. I just love being in this band. But I'm going to away with this band called Session 9 for the next 2 Sundays. We're going to go up and do a week of teaching. We've been invited to go and teach at the Gaelic College in Skye, Sulmarostig. And we're going to go back there and spend 5 days hanging out with a bunch of fiddle music enthusiasts, and it's just an absolute blast. And I cannot wait to let my hair down there. Frankly, it's going to be fun. I don't do that very often these days in my life. I tend to just live a quiet life, but not when I'm with the A9 guys. It's like, okay, party time and music and crack. So I'm not going to be here for the next 2 Sundays, but we are going to be on the road, I should say. I should probably actually share where we're playing. It'd be great to see some of you there, actually. You can tell I planned this live stream so carefully. I'm just looking up the Session 9 dates. We are playing, if you'll bear with me, if you're interested. Maybe I should just put a link in the chat somewhere. But yeah, we're playing in lots of places. We are, let's see, here we go. We are playing 15th of April at Sulmarostig in Skye, Gaelic College in Isle of Skye. The 18th of April we're playing in Firehall, which is just outside Inverness, near where I'm from. 19th of April, heading over the hills to Kincraig Community Hall. And then the 20th of April we're playing in Edinburgh in the Queen's Hall. So, yeah, we are going to be doing, that's why I'm not going to be here for the next 2 weeks. Oh, a couple more comments. Linda, hey Linda, hadn't heard this one. It's beautiful and you agree with integrity and humility. Cool, thank you for saying so. Petra, we can't wait either. Yes, Petra, you're going to be there. Can't wait to see you all. It's going to be amazing crack. And I think I've taught this tune there before. It's really hard sometimes to find a tune that you haven't taught before. If the longer you go on teaching tunes, it's like, how can we do it? So I need to get my thinking cap on and think about what to teach there. But so this has been it. This has been Dark Lowers Night. I will talk a little bit about what you can do chordally. Now that's not the same as creating a melody, but it's like lives right next door. It's in B minor, so you could do kind of B minor chords. If you're playing a chording instrument, you could play the notes of B minor. But you could also play a G underneath that first note. Because a G major chord, the notes of G major are G up to B, up an R2 to D. In other words, the very first note of the tune is in a chord of B minor, and it's also in a chord of G. And you can kind of hint at that with a fiddle. You kind of go, and then that high F sharp, that's also in the chord of D. D, up 2 notes, gets F sharp, up an R2, you get to A. So in other words, you can have kind of a G chord to D. So you get so this tune can be really, really minor. Or that C sharp, that's hinting to me that what you call chord 5, and chord 5 always syncs back nicely to chord 1. Chord 5 in B minor, what's chord 1 in B minor? It's B. What's chord 5? It's 5 notes above. 1 is B, 2 is C sharp, 3 is D, E is 4, 5 is F sharp. I just played an F sharp beneath that C sharp. Hear that? Would help if I could play in tune. But that also goes quite nicely up to G. The G chord in B minor is chord 6, because B is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up the scale, you get to G. So what we would call a G major chord in this key is chord 6. And chord 6 comes nicely after chord 5. 5 goes to 1, very well known, but 5 to 6 is also quite nice. So here we have. And you can just finish on G chords. It can be a happy tune or a sad tune. Which is again what I love about doing chords or hinting at chords, is the same tune but with different clothing. It's like a mannequin. We'll hang this on you and then we'll take that off and put that on you. That's great, and melody players can and should learn about chords, I think. Even if you can't really play chords as you can on the fiddle, you can hint at them. Yeah, so there's a nice thing I like to do. I like to hint at a F sharp major chord. In B minor, chord 5 is F sharp minor. It's F sharp minor because in the key of B minor, the A's are natto. They're not sharp. They're not. It's a. So if you play an F sharp chord, then the A in B minor without changing key is A natto. But you could break the rules and change one of the notes of F sharp minor, the A, up a semitone, to A sharp, which wouldn't fit in the bagpipes and is a definite breaking of the rules, but you can kind of hint at it. So it's what you call a 5 chord, but it's like being changed to a major. So here's what I do. I would chuck in a wee. I might do a wee flurry of notes that incorporate that. So I'm trying to hint at a chord by playing the broken notes of the chord. And there's lots you can do in that B part. It kind of says D major, the melody. You've got A, a very quick passing note G, so it doesn't really count. Says D, or it could be F sharp minor. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna do some interval training. I was thinking I might do a little bit of interval training with you guys. Oh, a couple more comments. Andrina loves that. Awesome. Yeah, I love that chord as well. The major 5 chord, hinting at it. Another reason to practice your scales and arpeggios is you can have these things able to chuck out into the tune, either in real time, or you can spend a bit more time just slowly writing out a wee variation. That's a nice side of composing, actually. You don't have to always be writing tunes to compose. You can be making your own little variations on tunes. And for me, thinking about them chordally is just a nice way to nourish that and think of what the chords are that you're trying to imply, and then just pick out some notes and see if you can make it sound melodic. Hey Dream Angus, nice to have you here. Not sure why this tune is for me evoking klezmer type Eastern European. Wow. I don't know either. I guess I think there's more in common between musical styles than sets apart, even though musical genres do sound different. I wonder what would happen if you made it a bit klezmery. I feel like I'm culturally appropriating here. Oh, I like that. That's unexpected. How did we end up going down that route? Yeah, Dream Angus, thank you. I would not have tried that. I don't know what scale that was. It's the flattened second, for the minor second, major third, normal fourth and fifth, minor sixth, just the same, but in the sharp and the seventh. Which that would be an A sharp. I was saying before, this tune doesn't have A sharps. I made a variation with an A sharp, but I particularly love the B part. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Gavin, tune writing tip: take an existing tune and add some cultural appropriation. Yeah, if you can deal with being cancelled, it is very cool. There is actually a good thing. I've tried this before with our tunes. Is just put an existing tune into a different scale. So we didn't change the key. We're still in B, but we changed it from a major second of B to a minor second. So both C natural minor second and C sharp major second, they're both seconds. Then you have the thirds. In B minor, it's a minor third. B major, that. So I changed it to a major third, minor second. So instead of having a We have. And it's a sharpened, so it's a major seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 becomes. That feels really quite profound. That's not every tune that works well like this, but that did. Dream Angus, yes, D major, Phrygish scale, lower second, sixth, and seventh, 1/2 step. No. Listen, you hijacking any tune, hijack away. That's what this is about. This is one of the reasons I'm not doing like just videos that are like fully scripted out and oh, Fergus Hetherington. Just a dram. I love that, Fergus. Cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to you all, actually. I love this unexpected direction. I was just about to pretty much wrap it up there, but suddenly we've headed off to the east. Right, someone give me a tune and I'll change it to a different mode. Go for it. Chuck in the comments. I'm going to have a sip of my water because I had a fish supper and I'm thirsty. Chuck in a tune in the comments and we will put it in a different mode and see what the hell that does. Just so you know it's not something I've pre-planned, although I think you can tell I've pre-planned absolutely nothing about this. Except for typing out the music so I can share it with you. I did that at 7 minutes before we went live. So yeah, I'm waiting for a tune. Someone type in a tune suggestion. Otherwise I will just pick one, but I'd rather it came from you guys. Okay, I'm going to pick one, right? I think I'm feeling like a 2/4 march. We have one, Loch Badger. By the formidable composer and musician Fred Morrison. There's no seconds in that. It's in E minor, so there's no Fs to make, but there's thirds. 1, 2, 3. It's a minor third, making that major. How about, is it Father John? Maybe it doesn't work quite so well on those tunes. Anyway, this is not just about me doing it. You guys could try this. Or even if you haven't tried one of these modes, just like in the way of writing a tune by just exploring, just muck around with some different modes. Or start playing a tune that you know already, change it to a different mode, and maybe just keep changing it. I've ended up writing tunes by accident in the past by just changing them little bit by little by little by little to the point where the original tune is gone. So yeah, that was a funny little way to end this. Okay. Any more questions or comments? I will just wait for a couple more seconds and I'm going to play this tune again. Dream Angus is going to mess around with klezmerizing dark lowers. Awesome. I hope you like the tune. I'm going to chuck the dots for this into my Patreon. If you want to learn it without doing the Patreon, feel free. You just go and pause the video, I guess, and watch this. I taught this tune in Ireland once. I got invited to go to Cork to a wonderful festival down there, Baltimore Fiddle Fair, and I was off into a big fancy country house to do a fiddle workshop, and there was just me and one student, and I thought, I'll teach this tune. And this lady thought she didn't quite hear what I said, or she didn't understand my accent, so when I said it's called Dark Lords of Night, she spent the whole lesson until the end, when she double checked, thinking that it was called the Dark Lord of the Night. Which is a great name for a tune as well, let's face it. I mean, that certainly gets your imagination going. The Dark Lord of the Night. Maybe that tune could have lots of mordants in them. You know that ornament? It's called a mordant. Does anyone else get this, where certain words in the English language just give them a wee shiver? Mordant. Mordant. Why did they have to call it a mordant? Couldn't they just call it something friendly and nice? Instead, it's a mordant. I feel like it's just like some character from one of these fantasy films. Lord Mordant, we have prepared the sacrificial chamber for you. Welcome, Lord Mordant. Mordant gives me the fear. Another word that gives me the fear, and this has got nothing to do with music, but I don't know why they called it this, but if you are neurodiverse, as I discovered I was a few years ago, I have a diagnosis of ADHD from a psychiatrist. If you're more likely to have another type of thing like dyslexia, or you're more likely to have one of the other neurodiverse things, and if you do, then that is called a comorbid condition. I just like, could you not thought of a cheerier word there? Comorbid. Morbid. Oh, Gavin Maxwell, Mordred. Yeah, there's probably a character called Mordred. Mordred. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying here. I'm just a bit tired. It's very hot and sunny here today in Glasgow. Don't know what it's like with you. Where are you all in the world? I think Dream Angus are in the States. Anyway, I'm just wittering away here now. I feel like I've definitely, the cheese has slid off the cracker for me. That was, and still is, and forever will be, Dark Lowers the Night. The Dark Lowers the Night, which is a great name for a tune, isn't it? It's up there with The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Okay, enough about Mordant, Lord Mordant. I'm going to stop this right now. I want to thank you all. It's great to see you all here, and if you're in the future watching this in the non-live stream content and you got through all of my chat, wow. You can tell I'm just feeling my way here. It's not like wildly prepared or really prepared in any way, just beyond it's been prepared over the last few decades of me thinking about not much else, if I can help it. Yeah, I like and subscribe. Come and see me on Patreon. You'll get more of my inane chat or whatever you want. Just yeah, I also have books for sale and stuff like that. Wow, what an incredible business person I am. Anyway, for me, Adam Sutherland, Errogie Music, formerly on air, now about to be off air. I'm going to say good night and happy tune writing, and thank you all. Okay, I'll try and find the off button. Alright, take care, guys. Thank you for all your nice comments. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you, Petra. It's nice to hear. Thanks, Linda. Thank you all. Thank you, Dream Angus. Thank you, Andrina. Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Fergus. And thank you, anyone who's just listening and not commenting, because that's fine. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Am I going to sneeze? And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Oh my goodness me. Goodbye. Goodbye.